Right, that was a position that we had never been in, and we had a lot of young guys who it was the first time doing a lot of things. So I think being in that situation last year, it taught us how to handle some things. So I think we grew. It was a great experience for us.
Skill-wise, all your playmakers are back. TJ, Ryan Stewart, Calvin, all those guys. How much does that help you going into year 3 as a starter?
Oh, it always helps to have the same guys, keep some continuity going. And when you're around the same guys for so long, it builds chemistry. You kind of know you're on the same page no matter what. You know what they're doing without any language. So it's always a good thing to be around the same guys for a long period of time.
A little bit of change for you, maybe offensive coordinator Justin Ward leaves, you get a new OC, and how has that affected you this spring and during the summer?
Well, first off, Coach Ward did a great job with this, but to have a transition with a guy like Coach Haynes, he just made it so easy and comfortable for us that everything wasn't brand new. He kind of blended what he did with what we did last year. So Coach Haynes did a great job with us in the spring. We're just looking to keep that going in the fall.
Last question. It seemed like last year you had a great continuity with your offensive line. You lose a couple of guys, but some guys you can plug right back in. What kind of relationship do you have with your linemen?
Those are my guys. They're the ones who keep me upright, and they're the ones who do a great job. They fight in the trenches for me down low, and I know they do anything for me, and I do anything for them.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Oh, hang on. Keep them rolling. I'm going to ask a couple of quick ones. I wanted to get a little bit of Mountain East Conference perspective from you. That game at Shepherd last year was something pretty special. I mean, that's a memory that's going to live for you and your teammates, I would think, for decades. You'll be looking back on that game. And then what that led to. I mean, who knows if you make the playoffs, if that overtime goes differently and then you make the run through the playoffs. So give me a little retrospective on, number one, that experience in that game that was essentially a championship game, and then you run through the playoffs.
Well, what that game did for us was it taught us to deal with adversity at the most pivotal point of the season, and I think whenever you're in a situation like that, guys grow up. You know, freshmen and all that. They've been through it, so if we're ever through it again, we know really how to handle it. And I think what it did leading into the playoffs for us was it gave us a lot of confidence because, you know, Shepherd always has a great team. Coach Cater always puts them in great situations. So for us to pull out a game like that going into the NCAA playoffs, it had us feeling real confident in ourselves.
One of the best games, if not the best game you've ever been involved in?
Best game I've ever been a part of. It was something like a movie. It was unbelievable.
How about this season? Being picked number 1 in the preseason, your coach, Coach Justice, noted that in a lot of ways the preseason polls are a compliment for your accomplishments last year, and that everybody starts off 0-0. But nonetheless, with 8 starters returning on offense, I'm sure you all feel very confident about the possibilities of 2015.
Of course, we feel confident. Like you said, we didn't lose that many guys, and we feel confident just because of the coaches and the situations that they're going to put us in, and we have all our faith in them. But like you said, the preseason poll, I mean, it's an honor, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean much. Like Coach said, we're all winless at this point. Everybody's even, so it's a whole new year.
Just try to be more vocal. Always be do the right thing. Be on time. Always set example. In the weight room, on the field.
Looking at the coaches poll, you guys are seated, or I guess a pick number 1. What's that say about the Concord program and the respect that you guys have earned over the last 3-4 years here?
I think it's huge. I mean, whenever I came in, we come off a conference championship, and ever since they've won that, it kind of did set the tone coming in. Like we've been very successful every year, and last year having the best year in Concord's history. I think we've really established ourselves in the conference and earned, a great deal of respect and put ourselves at the top, with Shepherd and Charleston, teams like that consistently. So I think it's a huge step for the university, for sure, football team.
Last year against Charleston and Shepherd, most notably, if the ball bounces a couple different ways, you guys may lose those games and you may not make the playoffs. So, talk about how competitive this league is and, how you have to show up every Saturday and maybe even catch a couple of breaks here and there.
Oh, yeah, our conference is definitely competitive. It's kind of a lot more competitive. And, 2 games, Charleston and Shepherd. We went to overtime with Shepherd, went on a blocked field goal, and there was times in that game, it was, a sack here, interception there, that changed everything. Like the Charleston game, we had to get a pick to be able to win it. have some really good teams in conference. Like they stated earlier, those two games are probably the hardest games, going to the playoffs besides their loss. But those games definitely got prepared for the playoffs.